jump into this draft and see what happens.
Hydra has first pick, first ban this time. They're going to be getting rid of the Revenant. Team Finesse immediately bans out the Morgesh. So Hydra, it's first pick's Twin Blast. They're not putting. There are teams who don't put as much priority onto picking their support. In other words, FaZe or Decker than others. Hydra instead picking up the Twin Blast. Hydra, we saw earlier. I think the very first day of the qualifiers, we saw run a FaZe Muriel Crunch. I would love to see that. Now, was that okay, we feel really confident that we're going to win this game, so we're going to do this? We don't think this strat is very valid against high-level teams. We're just going to have fun? Or is there some legitimacy to that sort of strategy? I think it would be great to throw Finesse off of their game. And also, Team Hydra played it really, really well. Their next couple of picks, though, is going to be very indicative of that, especially because Finesse did pick up Decker. So FaZe Muriel is a potential if that's something they want to run.
Belica Decker picked up on the side of. Do you think we see that? I mean, that was such a comp the first time we saw it. They do pick up FaZe. Hydra does pick up FaZe here. I don't know if we're going to see it. I'd love to see something.
I want to so badly.
So do I.
Cosby is such a good crunch. It's hard to say he's the best crunch because there's too small of a sample. Oh, there it is. Okay. It's the Muriel FaZe coming out. So the way you can lane this, there's different ways you can lane this. You can offlane FaZe, you can offlane Muriel, you can mid Muriel support. There's so many different ways you can run this. There's actually potential for triple support at this stage with an offlane FaZe, a mid Muriel, and a support in the other lane. I doubt that's going to be the case. There's the crunch. There it is, guys. Oh, this got me so excited. I cannot wait to see this. Their last pick, though, is going to be, I'm assuming, it's Aceris. So they have, woo, I love this. I'm so excited. Not only does the FaZe Muriel synergize with the crunch, it also synergizes disgustingly well with the Seraph as well. But look at Team Finesse. Look what they picked for their mid laner.
You've got Gideon because there's no stuns. You've got Sparrow Grux. I mean, Finesse has the better draft when you compare it to the drafts the drafts we have right now. But the way Hydra and the way the entire team comp synergizes with each other, Hydra's got a nasty comp. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. We could talk about it all day, Shane, but I don't want to. I really just want to watch this.
I'm loading in right now. I was so excited by the draft. I forgot to load into the game. We'll get into it here in just a second, guys. So this Gideon, I love the FaZe Muriel Crunch and or Seraph, but this Gideon could potentially be a really big game changer for Team Finesse, especially since they have the wombo combo potential of Decker on top of the AoE and zone control of a Belica. Hydra's bringing out something new. They're bringing out something that they played very, very well, and I think is absolutely a legitimate strategy. But at the same time, Team Finesse's draft is equally as strong and also is really good at taking advantage of the weaknesses of Hydra's draft. This is, oh man, I don't think I've been excited about two teams' drafts ever than this before right here.
Yeah, we watched them do this before, and I was like, "There's no way this works," and it worked. They won a game. Are we going to see a victory here? Is Team Finesse going to have an answer for this? Vanilla Cutie is going to be mid lane on Muriel. We're going to see Seraph off lane. We're going to see Tribe on FaZe, One Legend on Twin Blast in the safe lane, and Cosby jungle. It's all about aggression here. They have to start aggressive early. Let's just jump in and find out, buddy.
I'm so excited. You guys know these players. It's going to be Vanilla Cutie on the Muriel, so like you said, and a support phase with the offlane Seraph, Cosby the jungle legend in the safe lane. Other side of the field, of course, Strafe's going to be picking up that Sparrow. Suki on the Belica, Chill Phil on one of his iconic heroes, Grux, Lucera on Decker, and Proficiency on Gideon. Gideon's been picked a lot this stage. He's a hero that's been discounted for quite a while, but with FaZe being as prevalent of a hero, with compositions and draft and the current drafting meta that we have, with hard CCs sometimes being foregone for other utility, Gideon has really found a place in the meta in a situation where otherwise you wouldn't think he would.
Yeah, I mean, it was weird watching heroes when FaZe came out that we had not seen a lot of. We've seen Aurora in competitive play again. We've seen Gideon a lot because of the lack of stuns. Also, some card changes helped with that as well. Cards like Nanoplasm and Tainted Magic have really made the beginning of a team fight. Proficiency comes in, he gets a black hole off 8% of their overall health every time a tick of damage happens. Like it makes Gideon a really, really good mid lane pick. He's one of my favorite heroes. I've always been Team Gideon. Double mid lane here. So we're actually not seeing Shane. Yeah, we're not seeing mid lane Muriel. We're actually seeing a double mid with Tribe and that one Legend in the mid against Proficiency, which means Muriel is going to be laning against Louis and Strafe, the Decker Sparrow combo. So I was not expecting that at all.
And I think this is great. This laning configuration from Team Hydra has given them advantages in almost every single one of the lanes, with the exception of Muriel. You're not expecting Muriel to get much out of this lane. You don't put Muriel in the off lane for any other reason other than to get her level 5 as soon as possible, get Reversal of Fortune online, and allow Cosby to just go ham. Also, at the same time, putting your safe, what otherwise would be a safe lane carry and support in the mid lane is going to mitigate the Gideon. And we just got done talking about how Gideon could really break this game open. So they're going to be harassing him down and trying to mitigate his farm, mitigate his levels. And then more importantly, I think this is the most important thing of this laning configuration, is you're giving Seraph much safer farm. It's not a 1v2 situation in the off lane. She now is in a much more safe position, not only because it's a 1v1, but because she's going to be much closer to her tower. The wave is going to be pushed under her. She has a little bit more better access to the strong side of the jungle, to the river buffs, and to the gold buff.
So I'm just going to point this out before I go back 10 and go forward 10. Everybody on my map is sitting at level 5.
That's a new one.
I leaned over. I was going to say, Suki's already level 5. And then I looked and I was like, there's no way. It's only 3 minutes. So that was a very weird visual bug I just got. Everybody was 5. So, Suki versus Seraph, though, Shane. This lane early goes 100% to Belica. 100% to Belica. She's going to be able to push hard. She's going to have a little bit better lane clear, which means she's going to be able to deny Regal that gold buff and pick up that gold buff every 2 minutes once it starts spawning, and just give her a little bit more control. The mid lane, though, one thing that this gives Hydra is the chance to be very aggressive in the jungle, because Tribal, like they're doing now, Tribal and one Legend are going to be able to rotate in and help Cosby be aggressive against Chillfill, pick up that green buff if they need to, deny them that Amber that comes from that Amber link in the mid there, like we just saw. That's a lot of Amber that can be denied because of the aggression they can have to the mid lane, and gives them the ability to rotate pretty quickly. It takes 17 seconds to rotate to mid to each one of the off lanes. So they can be very aggressive if they decide to be in this mid lane here.
Rio going with those double healer tokens, 2 healer tokens. There's definitely about to be a 5v5 fight here.
You mentioned it twice. The game's about to end.
Yeah, the only hard stun that can interrupt Proficiency is Cosby's uppercut. And even then, I mean, Proficiency is going to take that into account and just be like, okay, well, I'll just make sure that I'm above it. I won't be surprised if we see a Teleblink being picked up by Proficiency, either as very early on or maybe like his 3rd card, because then he obviously just that increased mobility, but more importantly, he has a means to get into good position to black hole and also get out of a bad position if he gets caught out or if the team fight doesn't start going his way. This tower over here is going to be pushed down on the right side of the map. Very easy to again, off-lane Muriel, she's not the best off-laner in terms of, oh, I'm going to get lots of farm. Oh, I'm going to clear the wave. Oh, I'm
Suki's got to be careful. He doesn't know Cosby's here.
Oh.
He's going to land the sides of assault.
Only level 3.
Yeah.
So if he was level 5, that would back to his tower. Yeah. Yeah, that's the game. They would have won right there.
That would have been GG. That would have been
you think 11-minute game's impressive.
Suki, though, he's picked up the gold buff twice already, which is 300 additional card power every time. He's sitting at 8 card power. Regal is only sitting at 7, so it's not like he's super far behind. But again, Suki has been just pushing this lane really hard, denying that gold buff. He didn't have vision. He still doesn't have vision. He just picked up his ward. So, I mean, if Cosby could have got the flank there and Regal would have noticed it, they could have possibly picked up a kill. I was expecting more aggression from this mid lane chain. I was expecting more rotations, especially with how far Suki's been pushed, but we just haven't seen that rotation yet. It is only 5 minutes into the game, so they need that farm. They need to get those level 5s. Vanilla Cutie trying to get level 5 as well. The moment we see Vanilla Cutie get level 5, expect a lot of aggression coming out of this team from Cosby and Vanilla Cutie. Reversal of Fortune charging in. I mean, it's gonna get nasty pretty quick, Shane.
And I think we're all sitting here waiting with bated breath for that opportunity to happen. Or let me rephrase that. We're all sitting here with bated breath, waiting for that to go down. Regal, how's the CS doing right now? He's at 29, so this is a really good lane. Mid lane, Tribal, protecting Legion. Energy Lance being used. It's a 4 versus 3 currently, but Strafe has been isolated, overextended himself. And here comes that crunch. He's here to punch, and he gets a very important first blood over onto Strafe Sparrow. Hydra are really just putting themselves in a great position here. Actually, weaving themselves in between a tier 1 and tier 2 tower. Chillphil has to get out and has to escape very quickly. Still was almost taken out, and they invade into the jungle. Team Finesse is usually the one doing this, but with this composition, this draft, and this strategy that Hydra has on the field, I think for the first 15 minutes of the game, their draft just inherently is stronger.
Reversal of Fortune early, Shane, is one of the strongest alts. We don't see Muriel. Muriel kind of falls off compared to the other supports. Muriel falls off. But early, the Reversal of Fortune plus the shield she provides are very, very strong. And that's what we saw. Proficiency landed a great alt, but Reversal of Fortune came in, was able to keep his team alive, and we saw that the re-engagement coming out of Hydra. Cosby's in trouble here. He's been zoned out. He's actually going to get picked up. Vanilla Cutie still invisible. Don't take that fight. Just let him die.
Yeah,
Live
I
to
agree.
Fight another day.
Reversal of Fortune probably wasn't going to be enough to save him. In fact, they could have killed both Crunch and Vanilla Cutie on Muriel. Still might be the case. Energy Lance is there, though. This double support, man, it's going to be so hard for them to CC chain and up people down quickly enough. They have a good amount of CC. Seismic Assault, Smash and Grab, Stasis, and obviously Black Hole with the slow. But if they don't chain those perfectly, then either Muriel's going to get a Alacrity or Reversal of Fortune. FaZe is going to be able to pull someone out or snare someone with an Energy Lance. There's a lot of different means that they can use to disengage from team fights. And I won't be surprised if, as the game goes on a little bit, that Hydra transition themselves from being the aggressor to more so, let's wait out the Decker containment fence, let's wait out Black Hole, and then re-engage. Because when you have duo support, that means you have a lot of sustain. Much more sustain than their opponent's team. And we'll have to see how that plays out, though, as the game develops. But as of right now, Hydra is the one that's going to be looking for fights and taking it to Team Finesse.
Yeah, Hydra's looks for the fights. Team Finesse needs to wait for Reversal of Fortune. If they can survive the Reversal of Fortune when that comes out, if they can survive that engagement and then reinitiate when Reversal of Fortune is down, they can give themselves the advantage of these engagements and take team fights. That's what they need to do. Bait out a Reversal of Fortune or just play smart. Okay, Reversal of Fortune is down. Now we recommit, we re-engage.
Crunch is again inside of Finesse's jungle, right around that green buff spawning. And by inside of Finesse's jungle, I mean he's inside of his own jungle. I saw Chillphil on the other side of the field. I was like, oh, wait, yeah. So they are looking for a little bit of pickoff potential here between Proficiency and Chillphil, but uncharacteristically, I feel like Team Finesse is thrown off a little bit. Maybe not necessarily by the draft, which is, don't get me wrong, is an unorthodox draft. More so by how they have laned this. Team Finesse is playing a much more passive, conservative style, which is really something we don't see them do very often.
Look at, I mean, you'd think, okay, Vanilla Cutie in this lane, he's gonna be punished a lot. But those shields early, man, we just see the strength there. Strafe was landing auto attacks, but Vanilla just able to shield and stay alive. And he doesn't have horrible clear potential. I mean, you definitely want to see rotations from these guys, so Vanilla Cutie isn't having to defend a tier 2 tower against these two by himself, but he's able to, she has abilities, Muriel has abilities to clear lanes, so she doesn't get punished, and this is like unorthodox, Shane. This is one of those things, where do we see this comp fall off? When do we see them start getting getting more aggressive? What timings are we waiting for?
Both of these teams' drafts have well-rounded, like as one hero starts to fall off and taper off, another hero starts to spike, right? Where Crunch's damage might not be what it as commensurate in the later stages of the game as it is in the mid game, well, that's where Regal comes down on the Seraph. All of a sudden, he has crit bonus. All of a sudden, he has lifesteal. Might not go crit build. Sometimes we see it. Sometimes it's just an attack speed, lifesteal, and power. Either way, Seraph is still a late game damage monster in the later stages of the game. And if you take a look at the side of Team Finesse, sort of the same situation. The mid game of Grux and Gideon will start to fall off, but that's going to allow Strafe to farm and get his power spike online. So as far as I think both of these teams are fairly evenly matched throughout the course of this game in terms of their power spikes and where they're looking for timings. It's about Decker and Sparrow in the late game for Finesse, and it's about Seraph FaZe in the late stage for Hydra.
Again, denying this Amber Link. This Amber Link has just been dealt with every time. Chill Phil was going into the jungle, not realizing 4 are there, and they're just clearing out this farm.
There's the reversal of fortune. Cosby is in the thick of it right now, trying to do what he can, but Strafe is very healthy. Maybe not anymore. Good job at Strafe zoning back, pulling FaZe pulling Cosby away, and now Team Finesse are looking to re-engage proficiency. Torn space forward. He gets the Cosmic Rift onto Twinblast. Twinblast gets taken out. Now Cosby's the next target. They take him out. As you mentioned, Notch, if they're able to bait out that reversal of fortune and re-engage, they can take a fight, and that's exactly what Team Finesse did, taking the first real favorable first engagement at all, being out in their favor, immediately over to the Raptors.
Yeah, I'm going to give all 3 of these to Strafe here. Chill Phil's low, so he's going to not be able to take all of this. He's just going to have to back off. Louis got full health. He'll be able to pick this up. And Strafe should get, again, all 3 of these Raptors. Are we going to see Regal come in and try and pick up a kill here? That would be a little bit greedy. Oh my gosh, he's going for it. Here he goes.
I mean, Chill feels low. He's going in for the 1v3, pulls him in. Lucer uses the stun, barely able to get away, but the Heaven's Fury gets the kill, that long distance from Seraph. Good play out of Regal right there. He didn't pick up the Raptor, but he was able to pick up a kill and deny Finesse what seemed to be a free Raptor camp. So good job on him. You always got to take into account that Seraph, man. Seraph is great at punishing low health heroes like that.
So I just want to talk about this. It's more of my personal opinion, and I would have rather seen Rampage over Crunch. I think they would give him better engage. I think what Hydra is going to be lacking here is that really nasty front line of Chill Phil's Grux. So I would rather seen like a Sevarog or a Rampage over the Crunch pick, but because they have a Gideon, but Crunch, I mean, he's not a bad choice here. It's just I'm envisioning this with a stronger front line, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. I feel like it's missing something, and I think it's Crunch is going to be that. If he gets behind, Crunch is going to be the weak link of this draft, I think.
This draft is built around the Crunch, and I think that's why they built this with the Crunch, is to enable him in his early game, allowing Seraph to farm up and become transition. Crunch will then transition to tankiness, become that tanky frontline that you're looking for, and allow Seraph to really just pop off in the backline. But as of right now, Team Hydra, you talked about getting behind. Cosby's at 17 card points. You start comparing that to Suki, who's actually the most farm person at 20. He's doing a decent job, but he's got to make sure he doesn't fall back any more than that. I actually wouldn't be surprised if Team Hydra is able to pick up a Raptor camp, that they give it over to Cosby or Regal instead of the Twinblast. All right, as I say Regal's name, picks up a kill on Suki, who's the most farm person on the field, and another infusion of card experience going over to Seraph.
Seraph doing a really good job. He's 2-0 right now, sitting at 20 card power. Strafe is also sitting at 20 card power. You look at this and you look at that damage. That one legend, he's a little bit behind, like 2 card power behind. It's not that big of a deal, but I mean, let both of these carries get farmed, and this is going to be a really hard late game for Team Finesse.
They get the kill on the Suki. They rotate over the Raptors. 15 minutes in, there's the Orb Prime spawning a little bit. I don't think they're going to go for an Orb Prime. They could definitely chew it apart here. Vanilla's in a lot of trouble, though. He's underneath his tier 2 tower, which has been under siege for quite some time. Gets picked up. And good heads up from Team Finesse to recognize that the Muriel was by herself. And I won't be surprised if they continue to siege down this tower, as the tier 2 tower is very, very low. They have a siege minion with them. Strafe and Lucer might be looking to push that down. Other side of the field, Regal trying to get a tier 2 tower for himself. Should more than likely won't be able to pick it up for Seraph. It's going to be Strafe and Lucer, who actually are not going to push, and are going to let the siege minions try to do the work for them, and they are going to be able to pick it up there. Jump pads down for Hydra. Still, Hydra, they gave up a kill, but at least are still trying to obtain some sort of map control despite that.
Does Cosby run Stinger Boost on Crunch? Do we know if that's a card he's going to pick up? Because of the way the abilities work, and that's that extra damage, so he could go tanky. I'm just again crunch.
Ooh, Cosby's caught out strafe. Cosby's caught out strafe. If he's able to get one more ability. Oh, Cosby just got juked by strafe. Strafe faked dropping, and Cosby fell, and strafe didn't. That was really close. Cosby almost pulled off the solo kill onto the Sparrow.
I'm just, again, like I was saying earlier, I want to see this late game build because Crunch can be deceptively tanky, still deal that damage with Stinger Boost. So maybe my concerns are invalid and these guys are just going to blow my mind. Like they're playing well right now. They've been so aggressive in this jungle chain. They're denying Chill Phil a lot of harm. He's in these engagements is why at 21, but they've been in this jungle so much, clearing the Amberlink, picking up the camps, going after the green buff. This is one engagement here. We're just waiting for one big team fight. Whoever comes out on top, I think we're going to see Lord Prime. Chill Phil and Cosby kind of duking it out a little bit over there. Vanilla Cutie's going to get hit with that stasis bomb. Chill Phil's going, nah, I'm not going to come in on that. You guys scare me. You guys scare me.
Seraph is bullying Suki now. Regal starting to hit that point. I mean, one thing to mention is Regal's out of mana and has no means of escaping this here. There's a reversal of fortune. Actually, looking to turn this around onto Suki. I don't know if the shield is there. Suki is going to be able to get a double kill here. This has a very, very greedy play coming out of them right now. Cosby was rotating over with Tribal, but so very close. That was a pretty big misplay. Cosby does get a pickup over onto Decker. The containment fence was used. Smasher grabbing a few with the black hole. There's no way to interrupt it. Oh, there isn't a way to interrupt it. You just kill proficiency. That's how you do it. Cosby showing the crunch. That was a misplay from Hydra, but they brushed themselves off real quick and turned around and get 2 kills for themselves.
Pushing with no mana. I mean, yes, a 1v2 situation becomes a 2v2 situation pretty quickly. Suki saying, hey, look, guys, I'm a damn good offlaner, picking up 2 kills. Rotation coming in. Proficiency does fall, but and so Louis is down as well. But man, Sugi with 45 health under that tier 2 tower.
Oh, so close. If Seraph had mana, that was an easy kill, but there was no mana for Ascend, Chastise, Heaven's Fury, and Seraph is actually quite reliant on her mana pool. One of the few carries, if you will, that until she gets very reliant on her mana pool.
It's until she gets crit, right? Once she gets crit, then the basic, she can do a lot with that basic. But early on, up until what, 35, 40 card power.
I mean, even then, if you don't have mana to use Chastise for the snare or Heaven's Fury,
that's true. That's true. Yeah,
you're just a sitting duck at that point. So Suki's Void Drone is going to be a really good tool at helping mitigate Sarah's sustain inside of these team fights.
So we are 18 minutes into the game. Stinger Boost was picked up by Cosby. We've got Honor the Pure online over the side of Louis. He's got his Honor the Pure and Quenching Scales. Stasis Gem for Tribal. Barrier of Will is not a card we see a lot of. It's basically the intellect version of Honor the Pure. Suki just getting chunked down right there. He's going to hit that seismic assault.
Cosby, is he going to charge forward? Other side of the map, Chill Phil wrapped around. Maybe looking for a charge forward. Smash and grab. Stasis Bomb doesn't hit. The Cosmic Rift does hit the challenge. Into the double smash and grab on both supports. There we go. Beautifully done. The black hole used very, very quickly, and both of the supports on the side of Hydra are down. Fall back. Is this a potential or prime? Raptors responding here in a couple of moments, but they might be thinking about this. The two, I think, important heroes to enable Cruncher off the field, and we just answered your question. Cosby does run Stinger Boost, just picked it up as his 3rd DPS item.
So I think they're going to go for Raptor. Are they looking for more kills here? Raptors are up. They're going to take this mid tower here, and then most likely back off and pick up the Raptors here. So mid tower falls. Strafe headed, de-warding, headed over here to the Raptors. Are they going to pick it up? Is there going to be a re-engagement coming out of the side of Hydra?
I mean, Muriel's just out spawning, but
the bait.
They're faking it. We've seen this before, but I won't be surprised if Hydra isn't going to fall for it. Cosby has the green buff. Muriel's online and can show up to the fight at a moment's notice. And Team Finesse is going to fall back. They were looking for a little bit of a bait. Hydra's not going to fall for it. This time, though, they might actually commit to it. I think they're just waiting for Hydra to try to make a misstep. And right now, Hydra's not going to fall for it. They're just going to fall back to the lanes and continue to farm. But the moment they do that, Finesse can just go pick up the Raptors.
And that's exactly what they do. They're headed over now. There are 4 here. These Raptors should fall pretty quickly. Cosby is here. I don't know if he wants to go in on this. Oh,
he has reversal fortune going in to hit all 5 of them. Cosby's in the thick of it. The containment fence is used, but is that going to be enough? Proficiency having to be used away. Strafe is right now by himself. The black hole being used. They're turning this fight around. It was a beautiful engagement from Team Hydra, but it wasn't enough. They didn't get the targets. The containment fence gave them the ability to get the hell away from that crunch. It's a 1-for-2 exchange. Regal came in there. Sereth, that DPS. I wasn't expecting a kill to go down onto Lucer, but that was a very close fight. A beautiful engagement. It was the containment fence that was the difference maker. Team Finesse is barely going to come out of that with the smallest of margins.
Yeah, that was 100%. The reason that fight didn't go worse was because of the containment fence coming out from Louis. That engage, he hit 5, plus the reversal of fortune, plus the ultimate coming out of Tribal. Containment fence saves
you don't get a better
Finesse.
Engagement than that. That is the best engagement you could wish for. Other than maybe like Sereth going in at the same time, you don't get a better engagement than that.
Louis MVP, I mean, hello, he just saved his entire team right there.
Still, I mean, the Raptors were taken. That shows that that was so close to going into the favor of Team Hydra right there. I know a lot of you guys are rooting out there just because there's a lot of crunch fans out there that are like, come on, get them. But right now, Team Finesse certainly is playing in a way that they seem to understand how to play against this and have built themselves undoubtedly a lead. The CS minorly in favor of Team Finesse right now, but they do have themselves a substantial economical lead. Shield fill, double smasher grab onto the phase. Jim is used, but they're going to be able to pick up that kill. Phase off of the map now. A little bit of a power play situation. It is just the phase, but phase again is a big enabler of the crunch and the Sereth. I wonder what Finesse is going to try to do with this. Looks like they're going to push down a tier 2 tower.
I mean, good objective. Nothing wrong with taking those jump pads. Well, the jump pads are already taken. Nothing wrong with opening up more lanes to an inhibitor. Give themselves a little bit more map control. Pick up a kill. And make a play on the Orb Prime, or take a tier 2 and rotate back to the Orb Prime. I don't think they're going to try and take this here. No, they're just going to back off. River buffs are spawn. Gold buff is up. Just some deep warding. Make sure lanes are set in your favor. They do have still 1 tier 1 tower standing. That's going to be some free card power for Strafe. Strafe sitting at 36 card power. 6 card power lead over Legend. We do have Suki has Tainted Magic online. We do have some Thick Bloods online. But Hemorrhage, Shane. This is a card. I've been comparing this card to it's the Quenching Scales for carries. It gives you lifesteal and attack speed, but it's the active. For 6 seconds, you gain 44 attack speed plus 80 movement speed, and you take an additional but you take an additional 15% damage. And so this is one of those high risk, high reward cards. If you can position yourself properly, you pop that with Inner Fire, and she's going to be dealing a ton of damage at that moment in time. That's when you want to blow her up. But Decker, Louis with those stuns, proficiency and chill fill are able to peel. So is Suki. There's a lot of ways for them to control that and just allow Strife to pop off. Very strong card, but again, high risk, high reward.
Suki has that Teleblink and Tainted Magic online. Does the Void Drone apply Tainted Magic? If it zaps you?
I think the zap
probably
applies
does.
It. I'm not 100%. I'll have to chat.
I mean, it's ability damage, so it should. It's any application of ability damage. So you think that Void Drone was already doing enough damage and has enough utility. Tainted Magic really starting to be favored on a lot of heroes that unintuitively don't get as much value as you think, but actually a little bit more deep diving into it. You're like, oh, actually, that makes a lot of sense. Obviously, on heroes like Gideon and Morgish, it makes a lot of sense, but like things like FaZe and Bellica, you're like, oh, wait, that's actually really good. Cosby taking a lot of damage here. Gonna be able to fall away. Stasis Bomb not gonna land. Stasis Gem used. That might be pretty bad for Tribal. Smasher Grab is gonna be there. The Stasis Gem actually be more of a detriment than anything else. They forced out a containment fence, but here comes Strafe. Focusing down Cosby. He's going to be able to run away. Proficiency with the black hole, though. Keeping him in place. Beautifully done right there. The proficiency setting him up the alley-oop onto the Twin Blast. Watch out for Regal, though. He's actually back in the base, so he's not going to be able to contribute much to this. Tribal's going to be able to get away. Charging underneath the inhibitor. Vanilla Cutie. If he goes down, this would be very, very big for Team. But as he does go down immediately, Suki with the damage. We heard the Stasis Gem, but it wasn't enough. It's Crunch, it's Sereth, and it's FaZe to defend this. I don't think they're going to be able to take this mid inhibitor, defend this mid inhibitor. Strafe poking away at it, only 3 minions under him. Cosby charges forward. FaZe is there for the heals. Phils gets knocked up. The damage, he's barely able to get away. The energy lance roots him, but do they have any range? They don't have any ranged alive. If Tumas was alive, that could be the death of Chill Phil, but no. They are able to defend the inhibitor nonetheless. I thought Finesse was going to be able to pick that up, but a strong defense from Team Hydra.
Great defense from Team Hydra. They needed to defend that there, taking down that mid lane, allowing those minions that were stronger before come into play, and then give them the opportunity to pick up the Orb Prime, which is still on the map, Shane. We're 26 minutes into the match. And I know some people are like, that doesn't sound like much, but 26 minutes into the match with these two really skilled teams and not have the Orb Prime come into play, it's not very common that we don't see an Orb Prime before the 25-minute mark.
Otherwise, I mean, that was a really good defense by Team Hydra. They were. I thought for sure that inhibitor was going to be fallen. So, again, Team Hydra, their draft lacks hard engage. They're engaged, maybe not lacks hard engage, but their engage is much more difficult to set up. It's completely reliant on Reversal of Fortune and Cosby charging in, as opposed to Decker just casually gets a containment fetch. Chill Phil lands a smash and grab proficiency, finds that black hole like he just did. More so that's sort of a secondary engagement after the fight's already gone down. But there's a lot riding on the shoulders of Cosby to start these fights. And if Team Finesse is able to just casually walk away, there's a lot of ebb and flow inside of these fights that these teams are constantly trying to catch each other out. And if one team catches someone out but doesn't secure a kill, there might just be this rubber band effect where all of a sudden that rubber band will snap back against them and they just get wiped over. And that applies to both sides of the field. A big mid push coming down. Proficiency charging forward. They're focused down the phase. The Stasis Gem used. That's the Stasis Gem you're looking for. But can they keep Tribo alive? Chill Phil uses the challenge of the Warlord, but there is no smash and grab. Cosby's there. Proficiency uses Black Hole. That might have been a misclick. I'm not sure because he just sort of used it in the back line there. Nonetheless, Black Hole is down. And this might be a potential re-engage for Team Hydra. They are pretty low on the health bars, though. Look at Seraph up at the high ground, looking to maybe re-engage. Is Chill Phil and Strafe in the back line. Does Team Finesse know about Regal's positioning? If they didn't before, they do now. And they're going to fall back, recognizing that they're not in the best condition to engage in a fight. But now they're trying to wait him out at the Orb Prime as well. So, no, Tribal, no. You got to get out of there. Stun missed. The Seismic Assault missed. The Stasis Bomb missed. But the Smasher Grab is there. Picked up too. Wasn't expecting that. If they can keep Vanilla alive, they might be able to turn this fight around. But I don't think that's going to be the case. Strafe gets the kill onto the Muriel. Chill Phil being forced to go away. But there's a Cosby right there waiting to hit him in the face with those big robotic fists of his. Both supports down on the side of Team Hydra. A scrappy team fight. Finesse again come out ahead. Barely. Cosby needs to get himself away. Team Finesse might be pursuing him down. Twin Blast and Seraph, they're still alive, though. Muriel's going to be back on the field in 30 seconds. There's a very small window of opportunity for Finesse to get something done here. If
you were curious how you counter FaZe, you just kill FaZe, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, right?
FaZe has really been a non-factor in this game. They've just blown her up every chance they get. Vanilla Cutie as well. She's there trying to help, but there's so much damage coming out from these guys. That there's very little that Team Hydra could do in these engagements. Rigo's coming in though, Shane. Rigo's been dealing a lot of damage. They just haven't had the they haven't been on the same page. Rigo gets in, deals a lot of damage, but Twin Blast isn't there to finish it up. And so he has to actually escape every one of these engagements.
Look at this. They're doing the Orb Prime. Finesse knows about it. There's a ward right there. And I'm pretty sure Hydra knows that Finesse knows. Look at Cosby preemptively positioning himself forward. Maybe to zone someone out. Finesse is in full. They got to get to this quickly. The Orb Prime is about to be taken. It's about 1/3 HP. Falling away from the Orb Prime. I think they might have baited him out. Oh, they're going in there. Chill Phil's very low with the Black Hole again. They can't do it. Proficiency actually got interrupted. Cosby got the interrupt. The only interrupt they have. But they killed Seraph. Suki takes out Cosby as well. They fought inside of that Void Drone. They're all out of mana again. A beautiful engage from Team Hydra, but it just doesn't seem to be enough. Another smash and grab. Chill Phil. He doesn't care if he's low. It's just so much value out of this. Grux. Gideon was taken out, but as of right now, this is looking good for Team Finesse. Strafe is continuing to pursue. He gets a kill other side of the field. You see Suki picks him up as well, and they get the handful. All 5 go down. Team Finesse in a position to win this game and win the series and move themselves forward inside of the qualifiers.
Chill Phil backing up to make sure their inhibitor stands. You've got 2 pushing down the mid lane here. I'm going to point out Vanilla Cutie did get a kill. Carry Muriel. Is that what's happening right now? 1, 7, and 3. Nope, definitely not carrying this match. Inhibitor is going to fall. They're going to back up. They're going to pick up this Orb Prime, and they're going to give themselves the advantage they need to end this game.
I thought Hydra had a moment where they forced Team Finesse in a very awkward position, but this black hole has set up so many team fights. The moment Crunch, the moment Cosby commits to a fight, that's when Proficiency has been using this black hole. It got interrupted very quickly, but it still served its purpose. It did what it was supposed to do. This Gideon pick here, man, it's a beautiful thing coming out from Finesse. With that being said, your mid inhibitor's down. Hydra still has a path to victory here. The Orb Prime has not been taken, and they still are doing a decent job at maintaining these team fights, despite the fact that there's a 10-point card experience discrepancy between the two ranged carries of Strafe and Legion.
So,
Legend, rather.
Legend. So, I think it's going to show that the moment that the reversal of fortune pops off, all they have to do is bide their time. Let those ultimates come out and then reinitiate and re-engage. And that's exactly what's happening. We're seeing really good engagement, Shane, come out of Cosby. He's landing his right crunch on 3 or 4 targets. He's that uppercut is there to silence, but just the reinitiation and re-engagement coming out of Finesse, Hydra can't deal with it. They don't know how to deal with it. They don't have the ultimates to counter it. They don't have the damage to counter it. And you would think they do. They've got 2 carries and Crunch. Like, you'd think they'd have it. They just don't. And you got to give it up to Finesse, man. Playing so well this round. Saying, come on, come get us. And like you said, proficiency on those ults. I think he's been the reason these team fights are going in their favor every single time. Tainted. He just now picked up Tainted Magic. Suki running a Hydroverser, a 16-cost Tainted Magic, and a 13-cost Thick Blood. So high-cost cards there, but giving himself that damage he needs.
And a Shockwave. That's a card we haven't seen in a long time.
I thought he had a Teleblink.
No, that's a Shockwave. I thought it was too. That's a Shockwave, Holmes.
He's got them both. Slow down, he says.
That's man. That reminds me of the first time we ever casted Suki on Gideon with the old Shockwave. Those are good times.
The knock-up into the ultimate.
Man, that was
so
good times. That was also when Steel could just 1v5 people.
Yeah.
We digress. So Strafe at 52 card points has the Stasis Gem, starting now to build crit. Again, Sparrows generally don't start building crit until their 5th or 6th item, very deep into their build. But a 60-point Sparrow is so difficult to deal with. Oh, that beautiful blink forward. Oh, they blow Legion up immediately. And now they have Tribal caught out. The Black Hole's being used. And now that forces Regal out. The Heaven Sphere is down. No invulnerability. Reversal of Fortune used very, very late. But even with the quickest of reaction times coming out from Vanilla, Legend got blown up so very quickly. Now they're looking for Cosby. Smash the grab onto him. If they can kill Cosby, they might be able to win this game. But Cosby's tanky, taking so much damage. Strafe just hitting them with those arrows. And Finesse. That blink forward from Suki into the Seismic Assault. No amount, not even the fastest reaction times can prevent that death right there. Finesse just without a moment of hesitation get the kills onto the Crunch and the Twin Blast. And now they're looking to end this game. It's going to be a difficult defense. It's Sereth. Sereth does a lot of damage. She has crit. She has lifesteal. But Strafe with that hemorrhage is going to do so much damage. Cordy down to 75%. Chill Phil, Honor Pier has been used to keep him alive. It's just Regal being forced to back up. Regal's going to get Smasher grabbed. Regal's going to go down. That's going to be it. There's no way Team Finesse should be able to take this right here, right now. Core down to 10%. Strafe is here, but Nella is back. Twin Blast back online. 5%. Can they do it? Lucerna to fall, as well as the Sparrow. No, they defend the core. Core at 5%, and Team Hydra still maintain themselves inside of this game. Ventilate on a Chill Phil. Chill Phil charges away. He is going to live. Team Hydra, they will not die. They will not decease. They will keep themselves in there, and a path to victory still remains open for them.
Are they going to go for Orb Prime here? They have the ability to do it. Cosby's low. He's going to have to bat. Or, no, I'm sorry, not Chillfill's low. Pick the Orb Prime up. You've got Vanilla Cutie defending. Stasis Gem from Tribal, so he's not taking any of the damage because he was low as well. That was just to wait for Quenching Scales to come back online. They're here, but
Suki. Suki's there. He has a teleblink. Uses the seismic assault, the void bomb. Oh, they blow up Twin Blast. Oh, Suki with the huge plays, picking up the kills. He gets the seismic assault through the terrain and completely denies Hydra from getting that orb prime. Suki is just playing out of his mind. He gets him again. Cosby gets knocked out, but he doesn't have much mana left. And now Suki might have been a little bit of trouble. Reversal Fortune's going down, but I don't know if this is going to be enough. Chill Phil sitting there doing the damage. Suki's just trying to auto attack at this point. Chill Phil very low. Cosby doesn't have the mana. The Void Drone just leeching him all away. Another seismic assault. One more auto attack. Cosby gets taken out, and now it's only 2 alive. It's just Regal and Muriel. Now Muriel's in a lot of trouble. Regal needs to show up to this fight, but he's just sitting in the mid lane. I think forfeiting Vanilla Cutie's life at this point. He's able to get the kill onto Chill Phil. So they do take out the jungler, but still giving up so many kills. Twin Blast and Face are going to be back on the map in about 10 seconds, and I think they are going to be able to stabilize here. If Chill Phil lived there, that could have been it. This is such a close game right now.
I just want to point out, that was Chill Phil's first death. He has not died one time this game. He's escaped multiple fights below like he's been at like 1% health. He's left fights at 10 health. It's been absolutely bananas. That was his first death, and Vanilla Cutie picking up the kill on Chill Phil. Just Suki with the seismic assault and the space turd from Gideon, plus the void bomb. Twin Blast was there, and he was like, "This is mine," and they said no, and they just blew him up. Holy goodness gracious, Shane! This game is back and forth. Yes, their core is at 5%. It's at 5%, but it's until there's another team wipe, they can still win. They can still pick up a team kill here. If they can get a team wipe, if Hydra, being they, get a team wipe and pick up Orb Prime, they can win this match. They just have to play so smart.
Yeah, the Hydra is saying they're against the fence is an understatement. They're like teetering on the edge of a bridge right now. They're barely holding on with just their fingertips to keep themselves not only in this game, but more importantly in the contention for the qualifier, the booking a ticket to Epic headquarters for the $15,000 event. You can tell these guys just are playing their heart out, despite the fact that they are down a core 5%. As I mentioned, this game is so close for Finesse right now to get this. Here comes the Reversal Fortune. Containment Fence has been used. Chill Phil is in the thick of it. The black hole, there's no way to interrupt it. They're all inside of it. Strafe is just sitting in the back line, chewing them apart. 2 already down. Twin Blast is still alive, as well as Regal. Their main DPS are here, but no, Regal gets blown up, and now it's only Tribal, the only one alive. That is the last hope that they could have had to keep themselves in this game, keep themselves in this tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Finesse are going to be able to do it. 5% more damage on the core, and they're gonna take this game 2-0. Team Hydra played this game was just back and forth, but Team Finesse, they were one of the favorites moving into this. Just one of the best games we've ever seen. Phenomenal play on both sides of the field.
That was the moment they had to go in and get that Orb Prime. Their engagements really couldn't have been better, Shane. Cosby, Vanilla Cutie engaging so well. They just did not have the damage and the follow-up there. Congratulations to Team Finesse. They will be moving on to the semifinals July 1st. What a damn match. What a good game. Quarterfinal. I was just kidding. Quarterfinals is what I meant. What a good game from these guys. We saw some absolutely amazing matches today, Shane. We've been casting for a bit, my friend. What did you think of today's gameplay? From everybody, not just this game, but everybody.
I expected the games today to be close. We've deduced from 120 some odd teams down to 30, and from today, 30 to 8. So these teams are all fighting for their lives right now, and you can tell being displayed in the play that we've seen today. And again, this is the top 30 teams. This isn't even the top 8. This isn't the top 4. This isn't even the finals. That game looked like it could have been a finals match, but not even close. So I expect the games to continue to the skill gap close between teams, but more so in general, these teams continue to get better and better and better, and also aren't afraid to diverge from the norm. We saw Team Hydra pull out a strategy that we've only seen once before against Team Finesse, and they that game could have gone a different way very, very easily. So another thing I'm excited about as we get deeper into this is seeing more variations of teams figuring out new and different things on how to win.
Yeah, really, really good matches. Excited, like Shane said, that the skill gap is just closing. We're starting to see more and more teams just. Before, it was we had 2 or 3 teams that were like, okay, these guys we expect to win. But as we progress through the year and up into this event, there's 9 or 10 teams. We're going to get down to the 8. Those top 8 teams, any one of these top 8 teams, Shane, have a chance to head out to Epic. It's not just those same 3 teams anymore, which is exciting to see. So, guys, July 1st and 2nd is when we'll be back. Quarterfinals on July 1st. Finals are going to be on July 2nd. First and second place will be flown out to Epic. First place gets, for this event, first place will get $2,500 and flown to Epic. But the chance to play for $15,000 at Epic headquarters in August. Thank you guys so much for watching the stream. Thank you guys so much for supporting Paragon Competitive League. That's going to be it for us today. We will see you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you again. Have a good one, guys. Bye.